Who else is eating this besides you and I and is gonna know right off the bat that I messed something up?
We'll see. We'll see. I think it's just you and I.
Chicken adobo.
Yeah, it's part of the pantheon of Filipino dishes.
Okay.
There's chicken adobo, pancit, which is a noodle dish.
Yep.
And there's lumpia.
Okay.
Right? So chicken adobo is a special one because it changes from generation to generation.
Yeah.
So it's super cool.
Perfect. All right. So what are we starting with?
Really, the base of this is the garlic. Like anything in Filipino cooking, there's a lot of garlic in it.
This is
and we've prepped a lot of it already. And I also like to take the easy road. Instead of chopping it with a knife,
right.
We're just gonna use a little contraption and just like do its thing. So
make a bunch of noise, chop it up.
Exactly.
I would love to take the liberty of putting this on.
Yeah, let's do it.
Before I hurt myself.
All right.
You get it on, I'll do the
yeah.
I'll do the
and just go to town on it. There you go.
Oh, I had to release it. All right, how are we looking? More?
A little bit more.
A little bit more.
A little bit more.
All right.
All right.
Your whole house instantly smells like garlic.
It instantly smells like garlic, and typically I'd run the fan.
Okay.
But
we're not today.
We're not today because you would be able to
soaking
hear
in
us.
all of it. Yeah, we're just gonna soak in all of it. All right. I'll smell like garlic until Tuesday. All good.
Yep. I love to use bacon fat for everything.
Yep.
It's just what I like to use.
Yeah.
So I'll use that as an oil base.
Okay.
So here we have some bacon fat.
Okay.
And really you're gonna throw like, to be honest, like a dollop of it.
Yeah.
Into the pot.
Okay. Do your thing.
All right.
Yeah. Do your thing.
Boom. Here.
All right. So in the meantime, I'm just gonna keep this aroma lid on top of this and let it sit.
Keep the aroma lid and let it sit.
Keep it contained for the moment.
All right.
So bacon grease in the pan. Let that sit. Let that come up to temperature a little bit.
Yep.
What else? What's next?
Well, so we'll let this sit and come to temperature a
Okay.
bit. What we're going to end up doing is throwing the garlic into the oil.
Okay.
Just to roast that garlic a little bit.
Yeah.
And then we're going to throw the chicken like right on top of it, just to sear the chicken and just to hold in a lot of the flavors that are already like marinating on the chicken.
Perfect. All right. So you said marinade.
Mm-hmm.
Spices, some sort. What do you got on top
Well,
of
it's
the
kind of a
chicken?
dry rub.
Okay.
It's really just 5 spice and salt. That's what's been sitting on the chicken for the last few hours,
Yeah.
and that should be enough. Because once you start throwing all the other ingredients in and cooking it, it's going to cook probably for about 30-40 minutes, and a lot of that flavor is just going to
meld together.
Meld together anyways.
Awesome. So is it always the Chinese 5 spice, or do you change it up with something else, or that has to be the thing?
No,
on
dude.
It?
So the Chinese 5 spice is unique to my mom's version.
Okay.
Okay, so my mom's mom, so in Filipino, my Lola, she cooked it differently. She didn't touch 5 spice. She didn't put it on there. She cooked it differently. But my mom put it on there and seared it right into the chicken as part of her version of it. Okay. So that's what we're going off of today.
So Lola wouldn't be upset with you that you're using Chinese 5 spice?
I hope not. I hope not. So yeah,
we'll just say that she's not.
Yeah, we'll just say that she's not.
Okay.
No, because it's good.
So chicken adobo, you know, every time I do one of these things and I reach out to people, you know, they come back pretty immediately, or they're like, hey, I know what I'm making. I'm going to do this. Was that the case for you, or did you have to think about it a little bit?
Dude, so I thought about it just for a second, and my favorite dish is this dish. Like it doesn't take long for me to make that decision, because again, it makes me think of my grandmother, and she had a huge part in raising me. Right. And it's just one of those recipes that passes down. And my mom had her own twist, and everyone loved the way that my mom made it. And to be honest, when she passed the recipe down to my wife, Carla, she cooks it way better than I do. She cooks it. She's normally in this kitchen.
She's standing right there doing what you're doing.
So she cooks it, and it's just, I can never match the way she cooks it, but I'm cooking it today.
Yeah.
So yeah, man. I mean, that's why I chose it.
We'll make Mom and Lola proud with
absolutely
the chicken adobo that we're making today. All right. So what else do we need to do while we're prepping? What's going on as the base?
So we're actually ready.
Okay.
So as you can see, there's
got a little smoke.
There's a little bit of smoke on here already.
Yeah.
We're just gonna pop that into here.
I don't want to, there's like a half a clove of garlic attached to the top of that thing.
No, all good. We'll throw that in.
Hear that sizzle? You want to grab some of that out of there? I'll grab it.
Yeah. I got it, bro.
It's easily a whole clove of garlic sitting in there.
Oh, is there?
Well, not on this, but in that one you just took
Okay.
out. But
Cool, let's do it.
get this blade out of the way.
So I got about between 2 to 3 pounds of chicken in there.
Okay.
There's also pork adobo, so some people cook it with pork. I
Okay.
like chicken.
Yeah.
There's Chinese 5-spice and some salt, and it's been sitting on it as a
Perfect.
dry brine for the last few hours. And
Perfect.
this is pretty much it. We'll throw it in and make sure it gets a good cooking around it, and we're pretty much
Brown
set.
it up a little bit.
Yep, brown it up.
Okay. So you mentioned the pork adobo, and I've been around other Filipino food, throughout mostly my time in the, time in service, time in the Marine Corps, because it's a melting pot of cultures and backgrounds and food tastes and things like that. So, I would go to have a meal at somebody's house and they would be cooking pork adobo. So this is actually the first time that I'm going to be trying chicken adobo.
Okay.
As crazy as that sounds.
Dude, that's awesome. Let's see. It looks like it's browning up quite a bit.
Yeah.
Pretty quick. What I'd like you to do is, in the time it takes to cook this dish, we could cook rice.
Okay.
Right. So
Prep the rice.
we need you to prep the rice. I'll take this off the heat for a second so I can show you. We have some North Kakalaki grown in and like picked rice.
Okay.
Really just take 2 cups of it.
Okay.
Just 2 cups.
Yep.
And just wash some rice, bro.
So you say it like it's easy, but I think people have gotten hurt over not making rice correctly in
My own
people's
house,
houses.
bro.
So that's what I'm saying. So first of all, I said North Carolina rice.
It's North Carolina rice. Dude.
Significant because
It's significant because
local.
It's local.
Okay.
I'm all about local,
Yeah.
and I've been on this journey of like trying to clean up my diet because I gotta care about my body.
You should. Yeah.
So having local is awesome.
We could do a whole episode on, before I ask this, and I lose my train of thought, this total top is 2 cups? Or am I eyeballing this?
Just eyeballing it.
All right.
Yeah. So this whole episode is gonna be eyeballing and figuring it out.
Who else is eating this besides you and I and is going to know right off the bat that I messed something up?
We'll see.
Okay.
We'll see. I think it's just you and I.
Okay.
But I mean,
All right.
we're big fans of leftovers in here.
Okay.
So Kalia, my daughter, she'll eat it, and Carla will as well. So
So I almost feel like I may get a text tomorrow. It's going to say,
yeah, you messed up the rice.
how the pieces of rice were a little too crunchy. What's going on here? So I feel that this is 2 cups.
Yeah. So there's this thing in
Tell me the secret.
Asian culture
Okay.
where you dip your finger into the rice and measure it like that with your thumb, and then you measure the same amount of water.
Okay. I see
Right.
your pointer finger. Are you referencing the thumb that's on the side of your pointer finger?
It can be whatever. You could dip your finger in, and sometimes like people use like the crease of the finger,
Yeah.
and you're good. And then as long as the water is at the same level, you're good.
Okay.
To be honest, bro, no, check this out. I just measure. It's like one.
It's an amazing concept.
I just measure. So the
I
same
feel like you
amount
can't
of
be wrong.
rice.
I feel like you can't be wrong.
The same amount of rice is the same amount of water you put in.
Okay,
And
I love that.
you never go wrong.
Okay.
You're good.
Are we doing it in the rice cooker? Or are we
Do it in the
at
rice
pot?
cooker.
Okay.
So grab
All
this
right. So
pie.
whatever rice this is, whether it's 2 cups or 2 1/4,
Who knows?
this is what we're doing.
Yeah, you're just doing that.
Okay.
Cool. There you go.
And I'm just going to go ahead and assume that I need to rinse this a couple times.
You should assume that you need to rinse that a couple times.
Okay.
I think everyone has their own way.
Okay. Well, I'm just going to do the way that I think is appropriate. And we'll go from there.
Awesome.
I'm going to do a triple rinse. I don't know if it's going to make a difference, but
I think triple rinse is good.
that's what
Yeah,
I'm doing.
yeah.
Okay. I think the rule is, and I don't know what the science behind this, or the rice police out there, you do it until the water's not cloudy? Is that a correct assessment? Okay.
I don't know. I don't know.
Well, the good thing is nobody else is going to see this, so we'll just figure.
We'll just say that's how you do it.
We'll just figure it out.
And that's what we did.
So you got a rice cooker on the counter. Is that rice cooker on the counter all the time, or is that something that you were just prepping for this episode?
Well, so we have a rice cooker and we use it all the time.
That's where I was going. Yeah,
Absolutely.
Yeah, thank you for
We have a
meeting
rice
me.
cooker and we use it all the
Yeah.
time. I always make more than we need for that
Yeah.
particular moment because I like having leftovers just in case. I have rice for breakfast, lunch, and dinner if I can. So.
So you were talking about, clean your eating, and those that are watching and counting how many times I rinsed this. Yes, this is number 4, not number 3. Thanks for paying attention and counting. Is always white rice? Do you ever stray to brown or do anything else, or is that kind of like
Not if I have a choice.
Okay.
No, I'm always going white rice, bro.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Just checking. Just
Yeah.
checking.
And I don't know if it's a health thing as
Yeah.
much as I just prefer white rice.
It's a comfort thing.
It's a comfort
Yeah,
thing.
that's
Absolutely.
what your stomach prefers and your heart, and that's what you're going with. Let's do that. All right.
Absolutely.
So I've rinsed this 4 times. I'm ready to fill up the water with the same amount because I was paying attention to what you
Because
said.
you're paying attention.
My main fear, not in life, but when it comes to rice, is it being too crunchy. It's not enough. I didn't put enough water in there. And I get, right? You said
Yeah.
use the same amount. So I'm always
Just
the
use the
guy
same
that's
amount.
like, I'm pretty sure that was the same,
Are you gonna do a little extra
but then
more?
I do an extra splash
Do it. Yeah.
just because.
Yeah, because it's easier to remedy if it's too much.
So here's a crazy question. There's probably, I don't want to say thousands of people out there that are watching this because I know there's not, but
Uh-huh.
have you ever put seasoning in here when you put it in the rice cooker?
No.
Okay.
No.
All right, we'll leave it at that.
No.
Me either. Me either. I haven't either.
All right.
All right, so those that are curious, this is what the final rice, well, almost final rice product. This is before we put it in the rice cooker, and we'll see what we're working with after
Okay.
the fact.
Yeah, we're good.
Eyeball wise, we're good?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so get this plugged in. Ready to launch?
Ready to launch, brother.
We got it.
Cool.
All right, so we got the chicken going, and you got any hot pots or anything that I could use to grab that pot just for a second?
Yeah, I do actually. Alrighty. Well, these handles are pretty good, but if your hands are soft, you can.
I feel like I'm getting questioned.
No, it's
I
all
feel like
good.
I'm
Here,
getting questioned at the
here.
moment.
Yeah, you're good.
I mean, I feel like these are.
They've been put to use. They've been put to use. You'll be all right.
Was this a singular incident that kind of got,
No,
Okay.
that's still
All
time.
right.
Yeah.
All right, over time. All right, so we got the chicken going. So, making sure everybody can see the color where we're at. We've been going for about 4 or 5 minutes. Got a little bit of light brown here so far. Looking good.
Yeah.
Looking good. Smells amazing. Yeah. So do you use Chinese 5-spice for anything else, or is it just this dish? Do you find yourself using it for anything?
So my daughter uses it for her own experiments.
Yeah. Okay.
But I think for me personally, this is all I
Yeah.
use it for.
Okay.
But to be fair, I don't cook often.
Hey, honesty is good. Honesty is good.
Yeah.
So stepping out a little bit, making the meal, so I can appreciate that. So you said your daughter, so she experiments. You already self-admitted, hey, I don't spend a lot of time in this zone
Yeah.
doing the cooking. So fair to say your daughter, Carla, they're doing the majority of the cooking?
Carla does a majority of the cooking.
Okay.
So, and she received some of my favorite recipes from my mom before we got married.
Yeah.
It's kind of like an internship.
Well, let me see what you can do with these.
Yeah, let me see what you can do with these because these are my favorite dishes, and she kills it.
Internship
So-
for you or your mom?
It's a good question.
Do you have an answer?
No.
Okay. We'll leave it.
Yeah, no
leave it
question.
unanswered.
So we're gonna start dumping the ingredients in here and cooking it almost like a stew.
All right,
So the first thing is coconut milk,
let's do it.
right? So in some Filipino versions of adobo, coconut milk is kind of a faux pas, right? But then in other versions, it's like a common.
We can hide the can.
Yeah. So there you go. We got a can of coconut milk.
Okay.
There you go.
Oh, it smells amazing.
I'm gonna cook through this a little bit.
So, if Lola was standing right here, right now, would she say, "Why would you put that in there?" Or was that part of her?
She was a coconut milk.
Okay, that's all that matters, then, right?
Yeah, yeah.
If that's how you remember the dish, it doesn't matter. Yeah, that doesn't matter.
And that was the biggest piece that I remember of her adding coconut milk.
Yeah.
There's some other pieces to it that my mom added, and we'll see in a bit.
Yeah.
She added some of her own unique
Okay.
flavors.
Changing it up a little bit.
She's changing it up a little bit.
So, I mean, so there's two sides of the coin, right? You have the recipe that's been handed down from generation to generation, and it's like, I am not swaying from what's on this piece of paper or on this card, however you're looking at it. But there's the other side of the coin. It was like, hey, this recipe has been amazing, but what if we just twist this and evolve it or add this? Has this evolved from the original?
Oh, absolutely.
From obviously Lola to your mom, from mom to you, has it changed at all?
It has.
Okay.
No, it has a lot. And it's not just the ingredients. Well, yeah, it's the ingredients, but also my mom was very particular on the brand of the ingredients.
Okay.
So coconut milk, she had a very specific brand of coconut milk that you're supposed to use for this. And we kind of went the other way.
Yeah.
Um,
Based on product availability or
no,
just trying something different?
just kind of trying something different.
Yeah.
Finding something that's sourced healthier.
Perfect. Yeah,
Right.
it's okay.
So we upscaled some of the ingredients quite a bit. And then we added, well, instead of vinegar, and she had a very specific brand of vinegar that we're going to use, or that we're not going to use, but we use vinegar. We're going to use apple cider vinegar.
Okay.
Just because, apple cider vinegar, it tastes better.
Right.
But it's also healthier for you. It's actually good for your gut. So
Was she using rice wine vinegar before, or what was she using previously?
no, she was using vinegar.
Okay, just like white vinegar.
But it was an Asian brand.
Okay.
That she was like, just use this over everything, type of thing. And
Yes, ma'am.
We don't. Yes, we don't.
Yeah.
But she definitely does.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Sweet. So I'm gonna grab my my war mittens over here, is what I'm gonna call these,
Okay. Yeah.
and I'm just gonna. All right. So we got the coconut milk that's been in there for a few minutes, sitting on the chicken. Obviously, I wish you guys could smell this because it smells amazing, and not just because of the 37 cloves of garlic we put in there, but the coconut milk, right? I can definitely smell. All right, so chicken back over here. What's next?
Chicken back over there. So, other than the coconut milk, chicken, and the garlic,
Yes.
primary ingredient is soy sauce.
Okay.
So there is a very specific soy sauce that my mom uses or used. We use something different. So we use tamari. We use tamari because there's no wheat in it. So those who are gluten-free in our house is kind of gluten-free.
Right.
We prefer tamari.
Okay.
So this tamari, with this dish, I really don't have measurements, but it's somewhere around like a cup.
Sounds
of
great to me.
tamari. So
I'm not gonna know the difference. So whatever you put in there is the recipe.
So we'll put about a cup in here, see how that goes, and depending on how it looks
Yeah.
and smells, we'll add
You'll know.
more if we need to.
So I'm not as familiar with tamari.
Yeah.
Is this something that's readily available? Is it super specific? You got to order it from somewhere, and that's probably maybe a really stupid question because it's maybe sitting on every shelf somewhere.
So more and more it's available.
Okay.
So you can get this at Harris Teeter's.
Yeah.
So
So people who are on that adventure or lifestyle change, if you will, of gluten-free, and if they're used to using soy sauce, this is the one. This is the thing they're going to go to.
That they'll probably use. And they probably already know.
Okay.
Exists.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Perfect.
Cool.
So tamari's in.
Tamari's in.
Damn near a cup of
We got
tamari.
about a cup of tamari. I think that'll be good.
All right. So here's where we're at with the chicken. It's been going for about 10 minutes or so with the sauteed garlic. Obviously, we had the coconut milk in there and trying to get through on the image with the steam, but hey, we're cooking live here. And the tamari that's been in there, almost a cup. And it looks delicious. It's actually thickened up quite a bit.
It thickened up quite a bit.
Since the last time I was looking at it. So, all right, what's next? This is apple cider vinegar.
This is apple cider vinegar. I don't typically use it.
Mm-hmm.
Recently, just because with my current diet, like I'm supposed to stay away from vinegar.
Really?
I just have this weird like reaction to it, but I wanted to pull out because this is what my wife uses, and it does make a difference. So right now we're gonna just put a quarter cup.
Let's do it. If you need to do less, I'm not going to be offended.
No, it's all good, man. The next ingredient is something that's unique to my mom's version, right? And it's oyster sauce.
Okay. So what would Lola say right now?
She'd be like, what? I don't know if she'd agree.
Yeah.
So oyster sauce, all the ingredients is water, sugar, salt, oyster juice concentrate, and then a bunch of other stuff.
Okay.
Right. But that's the main ingredient.
Right.
But I think it's the sugar that gets everybody. And this is why it's so good. So it's oyster sauce, the Kikkoman brand. Of course, we get the gluten-free version, but even the brand name, this is the one that like my mom uses.
Okay.
So
I like oyster sauce. First of all, I just like oysters in general. The brininess that you get from oysters. So as soon as you said you're reading off the ingredients, water, sugar, oyster juice concentrate, my mouth starts salivating as if I'm just getting ready to eat some oysters. I know that's not what this is, but
yeah,
it's back to what you were saying earlier though, from like the smell or the visual or something, right? The coconut milk goes in,
oh yeah,
or the garlic is going. You're like, all right, I can close my eyes. I can take back to that specific memory or thought.
definitely. And you'll see the color
Yeah.
change too.
Yeah.
Because oyster sauce is darker.
Super dark.
Change quite a bit.
Super dark.
Let's see here.
So I'm not even going to ask how much is supposed to go in here because I already know the answer. It's whatever you feel like putting in
It's
there.
whatever we feel like putting in it.
Yeah.
I think right here we have half a cup, but I think you might add more. I have another bottle.
Okay.
I guess the next ingredient is black pepper. I think at the same time that I'm throwing pepper in there, we probably would have put bay leaves as well, but I'm out of bay leaves.
No, we're not.
Yeah, so
They're
we're
going in
just
right now.
We're just
Yeah.
throwing some bay leaves.
How
in
many?
there.
2 or 3? How many are we putting in there?
Like 3.
Okay.
Like 3 or 4.
All right. We'll just make sure we take those out at the end.
Yeah, absolutely.
Got it.
As far as pepper, again, I don't measure.
Yeah.
I just kind of like to sprinkle the top.
I'm fine. Yeah. We don't have to measure everything. It's going to taste amazing regardless of how much of whatever you put in there. I already know it. All right. So you can see chicken's been going for about 15 minutes or so. Obviously, the color has changed quite a bit, probably because of the tamari and the oyster sauce we put on there, apple cider vinegar, and a little bit of black pepper. So awesome, man.
So we're gonna turn this heat down
Okay.
to just a simmer, and at this point, we're really just letting it
Do its thing.
do its thing.
Okay.
Yeah, man.
Now I have noticed that there is some kale that's out of frame. What are we doing with kale?
There's kale out of frame, so this is like the modernization level of this.
Let's do it.
of this
Let's
dish.
do it.
So, like any good Asian food, rice is a main staple,
Mhm.
right? But there really isn't much in the way of like greens that go with this dish. So I think one day my wife Carla was like, you know what? Let's just try this kale rice thing. So she made kale rice, and it just pairs perfectly with the flavor profile of this.
Wow.
Right? It
Okay.
adds some freshness to it. It
Yeah.
also adds some color. But it's just another opportunity to get something else in you.
So are we doing anything with that, or what's the?
Yeah, we are. So
Okay.
we have some kale here. I rinsed it off
Mhm.
because you never know what's in this stuff
Sure.
when it's picked. What I'd like you to do is really leaf it all off. You're gonna do like this, really pull all the stems off, pull the stem off. But that's the part that just doesn't eat well. And then you're gonna go over here to the cutting board, and you're just gonna kind of slice in here.
Okay.
Right?
Let's do it.
That makes sense?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like I can't mess it up.
You can't mess it up.
Okay. Because it's going to be hidden in the rice.
It's gonna be hidden in the rice anyways, because when we have this cut, we're gonna end up throwing it in a pan and wilting it,
Yeah.
and then mixing it with the rice. So we use a bigger cutting board.
Okay.
So there's gonna be a bunch of it.
All right.
All right. So yeah, just bunch it up
Yep.
by hand, and then it's just like, there you go, and just
Got it.
cut through them in small pieces. Oh, perfect. Great.
We got some different sizes in there. How we doing with what's in there? You need it more than that? I could chop
Yeah,
it
a
up
little
more.
bit more.
Okay.
Yeah, a little bit more than
Yeah,
that.
no problem.
And then we'll throw in this bowl over here, and we'll go through a few more of these leaves.
All right, so while we're getting this kale ready, literally we're just letting the chicken do its thing. Sit there, simmer for a little bit.
This pan's been heating up, but not that high. It's on low.
Okay. Just showing what we got for the amount of kale in here. 3 bunches
It looks like a lot
for the moment.
for the moment, because we're even going to add rice to it. We can take this over here and just let this go, and it'll wilt. There's so much water in this that
Yeah.
it's actually just steaming itself. So it'll wilt down, and then we'll add rice
So rice right into the pan with the kale.
with it. Yeah.
Stir it up. Okay. All right, so the kale's been going for 3 or 4 minutes maybe.
Yeah, at the most.
Wilted down a little bit. Steam obviously has reduced quite a bit in size.
Yeah, man.
And next we're gonna add the rice.
We are going to add the rice.
All of
So-
that going in there?
Not all of it.
Okay.
No. We're just going to put as many as makes sense, as much as makes sense.
You gonna use some of that for breakfast tomorrow?
I'm probably going to use some
Yeah.
of it for breakfast
Yeah.
tomorrow.
Rice and eggs or rice and something else?
Probably some bacon.
Okay.
We reserve the Spam eggs and rice for special occasions. But yeah, it'll be eggs, some type of meat, and some rice.
All right, so incorporated the rice.
Yeah. So I think this is probably about right.
Yeah, it looked right to me.
I think it looks right.
Yeah.
So
All right, so now we got the Spam and rice. See how my head is going? There is no Spam in
there's
here.
no Spam in there.
This is not Spam. It's actually the opposite of Spam. It's kale.
It's kale and rice.
All right, so
without
we're good
Spam.
without
Yeah.
Spam. So we probably did a 5-minute cook total on that, probably. Probably didn't even take that long. But if I was ordering wings somewhere, I would say, hey, do you guys split it? Can I do all flats?
Yeah, I do all flats. And then one of the very important parts is the juice, or in a Filipino home, we call it sabaw.
Sabaw.